All right, thank you very much. And welcome, Michael. I guess I don't know what kind of animal appears every 6 years, but every 6 years you come to Brainstorm Green, so we're very delighted to have you back.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, nice to see you. A lot of stuff we want to talk about, a lot of things going on at Dell. It's a very exciting time. You guys are private again. It's your baby again. And I want to get to that. But I want to sort of start off by asking you about the IT business generally in terms of sustainability, particularly the end of the product cycle, and how companies and consumers are doing in terms of recycling, if we can still use that word, computers, desktops, notebooks, laptops, and all that. Where do we stand?
I think in terms of I'll come to the recycling in a minute, but I think in terms of the awareness and understanding of the companies themselves, in terms of the input materials, the energy sensitivity, and thinking about life cycle issues, I think it's vastly improved versus 10 or 20 years ago. In terms of recycling, we've offered free recycling now for quite some time in 76 countries, right? We've rented out stadiums, right, all over to be able to recycle not just our products, but actually any.
You'll take anybody's
any product.
Mm-hmm.
We've got an alliance with Goodwill Industries, right, where you can take any electronics to Goodwill Industries and they'll recycle it for free. So I'd say corporations, our customers, institutions, have been pretty good at thinking about end-of-life issues, mm-hmm. and often including that in the consideration when they buy new things. In terms of the consumer standpoint, I'd say not as good. There certainly are consumers that are aware and very passionate, but too many consumers just throw them in the closet, throw them away, don't think about it. And we've done a lot. Certainly we can do more. I think awareness is still an issue, and but it's never been more free, right, mm-hmm. or more easy to recycle electronics, and certainly we can make it even easier. But there's been a lot of progress that's been made.
But it's interesting that, here again, it may be true that companies are ahead of consumers. We've been talking about that throughout Brainstorm Green. And I think we were just talking to Natalie Allen, who was saying landfills in LA, you can still see computer hardware in there because people are just throwing these things in trash cans still, which is really kind of amazing. So let's talk about the new private Dell. How do you like it?
I love being private. It is great. It's a lot easier. It's a lot more fun. And it really allows us to be bold and think about our business in a longer term context. And I think in this country there is a problem with too much short-term thinking. We see it in the education system, and the political system, and the financial system. And being able to think about our business over a longer time frame allows us to make investments and continue the evolution that we've been on in terms of building out end-to-end solutions. And we're doing great. Our business is growing. Cash flow is strong. We're expanding. We're adding new customers. And it's just a whole lot of fun being private.
I mean, can you actually, say, invest more in sustainability projects? It's kind of a gimme question, or maybe it isn't, as a private company as opposed to a public company? Or does that not matter?
I'd say the focus that we have on sustainability has been sustained, right? It's been something that we have had for quite some time. Now, in October of last year, we laid out what we call our Legacy of Good, a vision for 2020, where we have 21 ambitious targets that we've set for ourselves around, reducing energy consumption by 80%, moving to 100% sustainable materials, volunteering 5 million hours of our people's time in the communities that they live in. And those kinds of things have been things that we've been doing for some time at Dell. You know, in the early 90s, we made the shift to recyclable materials before there was any legislation, before there was any activism, before anybody even asked. And we also challenged our team. You know, our company's based in Austin, Texas, right? So people are pretty passionate about these kinds of things. And when we say, hey, let's come up with a product that is lighter, more environmentally friendly, costs less, looks better, our teams get excited about that. And so, we've been able to do that. And we have a long history of, sort of this double bottom line or triple bottom line actually working for us.
Just to play devil's advocate, so you won't miss shareholder activists who come at you and say the company needs to be, 38% green by, 2015. You don't feel that you need that kind of pushing, prodding.
Well, they can still come. They just won't be shareholder activists.
What will they be? They're not going to get in your building. You mean customers could do it?
Yeah.
Anyone can write you a letter.
Activists can still come.
Oh, I see.
They're just not shareholder activists.
Right. They don't have much leverage.
They're not shareholders.
Fair enough. All right. So you guys have obviously had great market share of desktops, laptops, but Michael,
servers,
of course, servers.
Storage.
Okay.
Networking.
Yeah.
Services.
I want to ask
security.
about mobile. How's mobile going? And that's where all the action is, or where a lot of the action is. Not where all the action is. There's certainly servers in the huge market. But where do you stand in sort of the new world of computing?
We really see 4 predominant themes when we talk to our customers in terms of the priorities that they have. And we think about them as transform, inform, connect, and protect. And mobility certainly works into this in a big way. But transform is all about how do I move my IT from the old way of doing it to the new way of doing it. So maybe I want to go to the cloud, or I want to get off the mainframe, or I want to go to software defined. I want to go to converged infrastructure. And there's always a constant shift of old to new in our industry. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of capabilities there. The next is inform, which is how do I make use of all the data? There's all this discussion about big data, the Internet of Everything. We've been helping customers store and protect data for a long time, but how many people actually use the data to make better decisions? Mm-hmm. That's a big area of investment for us. And as you go to the Internet of Everything, mm-hmm. the number of devices goes from kind of single-digit billions to tens of billions, maybe 100 billion. That not only creates a lot more data, but it also creates potential security vulnerabilities, mm-hmm. and the need to interconnect all these things together and have them work in some manner that makes sense. So that's creates some new real IT challenges. Then you have connect, which is all about how do I access my information from any device. Could be a smartphone, could be some of these small sensors that are out there. There are about 1 million PCs sold every day, in case you were wondering about that.
Still going on?
Yeah, still going on. And, mm-hmm. and in fact, we're selling quite a bit more this year than we did last year. So
can you put numbers on that, or now that you're private, you're not going to do that anymore?
Well, we're growing several times faster than the industry. It's a positive double-digit number.
Now, but is this a number that you would have disclosed when you were public before, but you're not now?
Well, I can disclose anything I want.
I know.
Go
ahead. Go ahead. Just between you and me.
Well, okay. So let me sort of give you a sense for it. So our business in this area has had 5 quarters of accelerating growth, mm-hmm. and this last quarter we gained more share than in any quarter since 2006.
And what product line is that specifically?
We're talking about end user computing, which is tablets, PCs, workstations, virtual computers. Great way to save energy. And so that whole space is growing quite nicely for us.
Okay.
And the overall business is doing.
What's the biggest opportunity for Dell?
I think we have many. I mean, I believe this whole data economy is an enormous opportunity. I think it's the next $1 trillion opportunity for our industry in terms of how do you actually capture value from all the data that's out there and turn it into things that drive productivity, efficiency, better outcomes for students, patients, organizations. So let me just kind of finish the fourth thing.
Right, you're on the fourth.
So we got connect.
Right.
That's all of your devices. How do you connect and use information any way you want, whatever device, but doing it securely. Then the last is protect, security. We see about 80 billion security events per day. I think when we were last together talking about this, it was about half that number. And so, we're protecting thousands of the largest banks, insurance companies.
Is a security event a transaction or an attempt at a bad thing?
It's everything. It's transactions, intellectual property. This was in the news yesterday. So there's a lot going on in terms of cybersecurity and how do organizations protect their most valuable data. We have made, roughly 40 acquisitions in the last 7 years. About 10 of them have been in the IT security field. And of the 40, those companies acquired about 150 companies. So we've really built a substantial capability in end-to-end solutions in IT services, software, security, data center, and by the way, we still make PCs.
Right. All right, well, let's switch back to something maybe a little bit more core to Brainstorm Green. And I hear you're doing some really cool things with packaging. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, we've been doing quite a lot with packaging, and maybe it's time for a snack. Are you hungry?
Oh no! All right, I think I heard I think I know what's coming. Go ahead. Tell me. Tell.
Got some examples here. So this is a
snack.
a bento box that we actually ship this as packaging material. This is made of bamboo, and we started experimenting with this some years ago and found that this was a very effective and environmentally friendly way to package our materials. So this is bamboo, but don't eat that.
I was going to say I'm not a panda, Michael.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat that. It looks good. Okay.
But I do have some chopsticks here and some soy sauce.
Okay, where are you going with this?
And we started with bamboo. We also use wheat straw, which is the part of the wheat. Well, you said you need to increase your fiber in your diet.
Wheat grass. I don't know about wheat straw.
Yeah, this is different. So the wheat straw is the part you can't really use. So the farmers would burn it. We know that's not a great thing. So now we're using that wheat straw to create packaging.
Okay.
Okay. So then we've been experimenting with some of our partners with mushrooms.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds more palatable.
And maybe not the kind from not the psychedelic mushrooms. These are different kind of mushrooms.
All right.
And
seriously, mushrooms for packaging? Get
mushrooms, exactly. So we grow the mushrooms. Looks pretty tasty. He's getting hungry over here.
Okay.
So here, grab some chopsticks. I've got some soy sauce.
You grow mushrooms?
Well, our partners grow mushrooms. Okay, so I got some soy sauce here for you.
Okay.
And the way this works, let's see if we have a...
All I can say is after you, dude. You first.
I already had some, so just grab a...
Now this is mushroom packaging.
These are mushrooms, mushroom packaging.
And it's edible. Here, go ahead. Do your dip. I'm going to watch you. What? Don't drip. Go ahead. Here.
Go ahead.
All right. We'll just share it.
Testing your
I
chopstick
know,
skills
right?
there.
Yeah, I'm okay at it.
Okay.
Ready? I'll do it simultaneously. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Pretty good, huh? Not the most tasty thing, but proves the point.
Wow. Actually, it does taste like a mushroom, like a very chewy one, though.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'm
we
still
grow
chewing
those
on it.
mushrooms. This is actual packaging that we ship today, bamboo packaging for like a notebook or a tablet. And the mushrooms we use as an insulation for like a larger product, like a desktop or a server. And
But let me ask you, so with
you want
all
to have
the...
some dessert?
Yeah, but wait. I want to ask you about the shrooms first, because of all the things to make packaging out of, it really is economical to make packaging for IT products from mushrooms that you contract someone to grow.
Well, see, this is the thing. We never sit around and say, how can we make it more expensive?
Yeah, I know.
And none of our customers come to us and say, we really like your products, but could you make them more expensive,
No, I know.
please?
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So we always challenge our sustainability teams and our supply chain teams. All right, we want to do the right thing, but we also want it to cost less. And those two working together, you come up with all sorts of innovations.
But I mean, I would have said like corn husks, stuff that's lying around. So someone actually said, I know mushrooms.
Well,
because that wouldn't have occurred to me,
If you have a product, let's say you have a data center server.
Yeah.
You talked about mobility.
Right.
When you get your new mobile phone,
Right.
you know what it has on it?
No.
Almost nothing.
Right.
Okay. Where does the data come from that goes on your phone? Comes from a server.
Right. Okay.
Right. So so there's a lot of servers being put out there in the internet.
Yes.
Heard about that?
I have.
So those are big. They're heavy. They have to be shipped. So mushrooms can insulate. So
okay.
So now let's have a little dessert.
Okay. Is it going to taste like the last one?
So this is a
what is
this is a bag, and actually all of you should have one of these bags. And
Careful. No, go ahead. I'm warning you all.
This bag is produced by one of our partners using a process they call air carbon. And essentially what they're doing is they're taking carbon out of methane and they're using that instead of oil to create the plastic.
Really? Can I?
Yeah, plastic bag. There you go.
It's a regular plastic bag. Right? Good. Great. That's interesting. And then this is economical too, I'm assuming, because I just heard what you said.
Yes.
You're not going to make expensive plastic bags.
It costs less.
Right. Okay.
And so we're going to be shipping that with our Latitude notebooks, #1 commercial notebook in the United States.
Okay.
And we got a little fortune cookie in there. So there you go.
All right. Thank you. This fortune cookie is just for fortune, right? I mean, there's not packaging, or Dell doesn't make fortune cookies or anything like that.
Well, open it. You can see.
All right. Okay. Help! I'm being held prisoner in a Dell factory. Is that what it's going to say? Isn't that the line? Okay. Do you want me to read this out just cold? Okay. All right. 100% waste-free packaging by 2020, one of Dell's legacy of good goals. Great. All right. And you had fortune, and these are edible fortune cookies?
Those are also edible.
That tastes like a normal fortune cookie. Yeah. Hey, well, that's cool. That's great. Well, and these are the bags that, when you get a laptop, it always comes in a plastic bag. And,
exactly.
Wrapped up and then it's put inside the case, and that's the bag that's for, right?
Yes.
Great. Well, that's super cool. So, also, I wanted to talk about, ask you a little bit about your new closed-loop recycling program, because you've got some news to share with us about that.
Yeah, we're introducing a first product, one of our OptiPlex all-in-one desktops, using closed-loop recycling, materials, and this is certified by the UL process. And so the plastics in this product are coming from recycled plastics. They're coming from older products. And so we had our partner Wistron in one of the panels earlier.
Yes.
We're working with them. And it's a completely closed loop system.
Right.
And certainly all of these things, whether it's bamboo, wheat straw, mushrooms, air carbon, the closed loop, recycling, start out as pilot projects, and then our intent is to scale them up.
So how core is that to what you're doing now? I mean, has it evolved from, oh, this is just doing good, to this is a core thing and this can help our cost structure? I mean, has it become that?
I think it's just part of how we do everything, and if you think about the processes within our company, how you create a new product, what you have to do is get into the design stage, and so if we had a product that we were producing, and somebody said, well, gee, how can you do this better? It's too late, right? You have to start, many cycles back. And so there's a lot of effort that's gone into how do we dramatically reduce energy consumption. So
right.
Today, if you buy a computer from us, it'll use maybe $3 or $4 of energy per year, whereas an older computer could use 5, 6, 7 times that.
We have time for a question or two from the audience, if you guys would like. You guys need some mushrooms or cookies or bags to eat. I'm happy to try to rustle some up. Any questions? Well, otherwise we've got one over here. Let's see, John.
Michael, you were last here at Brainstorm Green 6 years ago, and during that period of time, there's been a lot of progress made by corporations on sustainability issues. It feels a little like we're now moving into incremental gains rather than quantum leaps. And I'm wondering if you share that view, or if you see areas where there can be quantum leaps with respect to sustainability in your industry going forward.
I think there can still be significant progress. I mean, when I look at, the way IT is affecting so many industries, you look at healthcare. That's a topic that's been in the news a lot lately, and whether you're for or against, different changes that are going on in the healthcare system, there's been a real digitization that's been going on. So, for example, we have at Dell a specialized cloud with medical images, and we have 7 billion images in this cloud. We have 9 out of the 10 largest healthcare systems using this, and it's an unbelievably efficient way to deal with medical images. Well, this wasn't possible 15, 20 years ago, and of course, what you enable with this digitization in terms of being able to look across enormous amounts of data, draw outcomes, efficiency, and prevent all of the physical moving. How would you actually deal with 7 billion physical records? How do you get them from one doctor to another? So all sorts of new things are enabled that just weren't possible before. And I think anywhere you look in terms of the environmental issues, I think IT is going to be part of the solution, and a big part of how do we do it much more efficiently. Our experience at Dell has been that a lot of progress could be made, and tapping into the passions and energies of our own people has actually been pretty easy. Because they're excited about this, and they're excited by the challenge. They're excited by the goals that we've set for ourselves. I think Any company can do it. Maybe it's a little easier as a private company because we can think in a little more long term. But I think there's still enormous gains that can be made here.
All right, our time is up, unfortunately, Michael. That was some really fascinating and tasty stuff. Unless you have anything else to eat, otherwise we're gonna have to leave it at that. So please join me in thanking Michael Dell for being here today.
Thank you.